to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do that so fast, I never get up.
Okay. Okay, roll call, please.
Thayer, absent. Bamberger, Bamberger, absent. Fletcher. Here. McNally.
Here.
Flicker. Here. Townsend.
Here.
Houlihan.
Here.
Osentowski.
Here.
And Dale Zer's also absent.
Okay. And with special orders. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I have one correction. I already mentioned it to John, so we're good.
To the agenda?
Oh,
Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please? Jeff approved and Karen seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, approval of minutes.
I just have a correction about. Did you find it, Jamie, right?
Yeah, it's page 2, very top on the public comments.
It's just, it was you that opened the public comments for me, so I would like to approve the minutes as amended.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we have a request here on the agenda. We have the superintendent from Bridgeport. Mark Whelton.
I got some talking points. I wasn't, as I was talking to Bill, I started thinking, Bill, like, why not just do it together? I don't usually go by notes, just personally. I'm a heart guy, so I go by my heart. And but this way here, I can give you guys something
You want a
to
copy?
maybe make some notes on if you have some questions or opportunity to take a look in advance. I want to thank you for the opportunity to really come in and talk to you guys today. It's really important that we're connected. I feel that it's one of the most important things for our school system to be interconnected with the community. And so I want to share with you the vision that I'm laying out over the course of the year for the district in how we partner with local organizations and businesses. We have a phenomenal opportunity in front of us with the school district. We were just talking about the viability. We're not in deficit. We're not functionally having these issues that tend to close doors and limit things. And so we're wide open, and that brings me to how might we work together to enhance what we have for our businesses and our community along with the school district. And so the first point I wrote is build it and they will come. And in Bridgeport, through the financial crisis that occurred going back 2012 to 2017, the district consolidated down. And that meant consolidating down not just buildings and facilities, but it also meant offerings and opportunities for kids. And I want to open that up and get back to what we should be, and that is a viable, constructive part of the community. And so I'm looking to increase opportunities for engaging businesses and local organizations in the school district, but also for our students and our families to engage the community as well. So a couple of things that we have going that are the build it and they will come, classroom libraries. And this is a very cutting edge concept. We installed the very first one in the state of Michigan a week and a half before school got out was when we finally got wrapped up with all the ordering. We partnered with local legislature, Vanessa Guerra, Ken Horn, the Michigan Education Association, Next Tier, Scholastic Books. And what we did in that situation is we put kids in a position to order books, whatever they're interested in. Here, order them. We put them into the class. We started with one classroom. That's our pilot program. Place it into the classroom. There are no parameters. It's reading for enjoyment, not to be tested on it, not to have pressure added to it. And the goal is that students aren't limited. They don't go to the library, check a book out, and have to get it back. If they take a book home and they want to share it with a sister or cousin, a brother or aunt, uncle, fine. If the book makes it back, that's awesome. We'll encourage that. If it doesn't make it back, it is what it is. Did you enjoy the book? Yes. If the book isn't, maybe you want to read about zombies and it's a 6th grade reading level and you're as a 3rd grader. Go for it. Enjoy reading and begin to get that process ingrained into the students where they haven't had before. Other things that we have going that are really exciting, we've enhanced a lot of technology in the district and brought things back up to speed and actually ahead of where a lot of districts are at, and are beginning to offer more courses and variety. So I talk a lot about possibilities and options. And so we are enhancing our options and possibilities with honors courses at the high school. We have engineering. We started out engineering for juniors and seniors, and we've now gone all the way. Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors can all participate in engineering. We have a CNC machine. We made some pretty cool stuff this past year. It's very exciting. That room is cutting edge, fantastic. It's unmatched in this area, and I'm very proud of that. We are introducing law classes, esports. There's one thing I brought up. We're transitioning to have esports, giving kids that aren't your traditional kids that are playing basketball, football, volleyball, those traditional sports, giving them a place, something that they can connect to at the district as well. And so esports are video games. We will be the only high school with an esports internal league in this area. CMU has one that they're just starting. I'm very proud of what we're going to be able to offer for kids in that arena. And creative arts. At some point in the future, I'll talk to you, ask you guys to come visit. And what we've put together in terms of audio and visual opportunities is second to none. And we've started at the middle school. We're growing it to the high school this year. It is impressive. We're talking about green screens, and the kids are performing, they're doing skits, they're doing speeches, and then they're dropping in videos or backgrounds. One girl was singing a song and she was floating through the clouds. It's fascinating what they've done. Making movies and commercials, and I'll get into commercials in a little bit. The state of the district it's almost vibrating and so exciting right now. There's so many things going on. And now that we got things boosted at the district, I'd like to really interconnect with our local businesses and organizations so that we can propel our students into understanding what it means. You go through all of this, you learn all of these things, you have all of these options and opportunities in front of you, and you still are going to go into a workforce at some point, whether it's it's school to work or school to work. And those are the soft skills that business owners and businesses can help us understand as educators and help us lead our students into understanding those soft skills that matter to our local businesses. So long-range vision is that we provide a vision for kids, a perspective, and connections. And so I've often talked about, I've been in Cygnus, I've been in Amigo, I've been in Kuka, I've been in different businesses. And there's 100 of them, right on Dixie Highway. And people drive by them every day and have no idea what goes on in them. And for a lot of those, I don't know what goes on in there. And yet, we will need our students to take over those positions at some point in the near future as our workforce ages. And so looking for the future to build a network that supports our students' learning and gives them opportunity to go into businesses and see what those jobs are. I sat in a meeting and we talked about HVAC. And every one of the folks in the meeting are master's degree, doctoral degrees. And I finally said, does anybody in here know what HVAC stands for? Crickets. Heating and cooling? Okay, what does a kid think about heating and cooling? Furnace? An air conditioning unit? They know nothing about it. And we were talking about how do we get kids to enroll in the HVAC program at the career complex. They have no clue what it is. So giving kids an opportunity to see that, I believe, is really, really important. So I want to connect our kids to those businesses. What kind of training is necessary? There's a lot of talk right now. We've pushed for 30 years. Go to college. You got to get a 4-year degree. You got to get a 6 master's degree. And what we're finding is we have this massive gap in skilled trades, construction jobs, the jobs that drive our economy. And so now there is a concerted push locally, at the state level, and nationally to support these types of careers. And in doing so, we talk to kids about careers that they haven't had the experience. And I can't really tell people about what next year does. I mean, my dad worked for Steering Gear, retired out of there after 41 years. I went there in 1982, we figured it out, it was family days. I've been back multiple times since. I've toured the facility. It looks nothing like I recall. It smells exactly the same, but it looks nothing like I recall. And when we talk to teachers who know, I remember next year, they think of dirty, dingy, loud, noisy. It's a shop. It's not like that anymore. It's very, very different. Soft skills are very important. Timeliness. Put your cell phone away. Don't leave your station. Little things like that people are going to work doing and losing their jobs because they're missing the understanding that those are important. You have to do that in order to maintain those jobs. And so helping our kids understand that is important. And what output is necessary? I think about my own kids. My own kids, you work with your own kids. I just drove over my daughter's car. She traded me cars. Probably the worst thing I could have done is I got in that car, I drove over here, it's creaking and cracking, squealing brakes. And I thought, why doesn't she take care of it? She doesn't know better. She didn't know to say something to me. And so helping our kids understand what output is and what that means and what the expectations are. So as we think about long-term vision, school, our school district, our community, it's making those connections. So I'd like to really move into ongoing partnerships that are reciprocal. We have opportunities to make visits, engage our student body in the things that are going on in our community, our businesses, and then our businesses are engaging us. I don't have all the answers today. I'm presenting for you guys to get a feel for really where we're headed and why it's important to connect with the Downtown Development Authority and expand out with who we have our connections to. And so some of the things that are important, and Bill and I have talked, and skilled trades, incredibly important. The construction trades. We just talked today, my nephew works for ABC, a supply company, and they literally cannot find people to install siding on houses. They'll pay $20 an hour and nobody to hire. I want our kids there. I want my Bridgeport kids taking over that and doing a great job because they came out of Bridgeport, they have a great understanding of where we're headed. It helps provide some context for future employment. It helps provide some context for future careers. Rather than driving by businesses, kids will know a little bit about what goes on in there and how they operate. Maybe they have an interest in it. And I'd like to start that at the youngest age that we can. Traditionally, schools typically move into work-based learning and talk about those opportunities at the 11th grade level. The more we look at the research, it's already very late in the game. And so giving kids a vision far younger is important so they can look at it and start to make some of those decisions and not try to cram everything in junior year. And we all have stories about the different classes we might have taken that led us into a path, or the person that we met that led us to that career choice. And where we may be today is a connection to something that happened when we were younger. So some ideas that I'm floating are work-based learning opportunities. We don't have that right now in Bridgeport. We're non-competitive. I can't compete with Bertrand. I can't compete with Freeland. They've got work-based learning opportunities. Build it and they will come. I need those connections. I don't know all of the businesses in Bridgeport or what they have to offer. I'm very interested in learning and connecting with owners, employees, to help our students. Job fairs, mock interviews, those are soft skill development that we have the ability then to share with our kids, give them that little bit of pressure. Those mock interviews are fun. I did a few this past spring. The sweat, the anxiety that shows through because it's their first time being asked some very targeted questions about who they are. And that was with seniors, the first time. That's, if we're talking about school to work, they're walking out of there on May 25th, and they've never gotten into that level of anxiety, that what is necessary to prepare for, and I look forward to being able to provide that for our students. And that soft skill development is crucial as we look and listen to the research and what employers are talking about right now. It's that those basic employability skills are missing from students that are coming out of high school and moving into the workforce. I learned that from my parents. Hard work. That's just the way it was. If I didn't get the lawn done, I had to finish it the next day. And so work hard. Our kids are in definite need of learning. It supports growth in our local businesses and for our students. It also provides a connection. I shared with Rose today, around 28%, give or take the year, are kids that come from other places than Bridgeport, Spaulding. I want them connected to Bridgeport. We have a family atmosphere. You may have heard me talk about it. Our culture is phenomenal. Our kids are dynamic. They really actually care about each other. They're very connected to the teaching staff and the administration, our custodians and our kitchen workers. And yet, they may not visit the businesses in Bridgeport. I want to be able to provide an opportunity for why they should visit our businesses, why the support here is important. Volunteerism. Students volunteering to support. As I was here last time, I was listening to the potted plants and taking care of the community and keeping things clean and making sure the grass is mowed. And I was thinking to myself, our kids can connect in that way. It's giving them the opportunity, though. If we don't ever present it out to them, they won't ever look and take that chance. For the first time this year, this summer, we hired students to help maintain our facilities this summer. It has been invigorating. They are painting, they're picking up garbage, they're taking care of the facilities, they're cleaning, and I thought to myself, just before the holiday break and having conversations with the 3 boys that are on staff, how important it will be when kids come back in the fall and they toss a McDonald's wrapper out. And what those 3 boys might say, but the fact that they care and how that will progress out to the rest of the student body is very exciting. At the same time, in connecting with businesses, we open ourselves up to opportunities for employees to volunteer at the school district as well. And there's a variety of things that they can do. I really like the idea of distributing that out to teaching staff. Work together with our businesses. It's not centrally one person coordinating all of the opportunities that are out there. And that gives our students, our businesses, our employees a triangular connection to our community. Not every one of our employees lives in Bridgeport. Almost every one of our employees does some sort of business in Bridgeport. And so continuing that connection is very important. So I put down developing contact points. So distributing connections to administrators and teachers to build those relationships with folks in the business world, not the owners per se. And I say that because I don't want to add more to one person's plate, and that's really tough. Once we drill down deeper and make connections with, maybe it's a CNC operator who learns about the opportunity to come in and work with kids in our engineering program on our CNC machine. That's exciting to me. And they may not have ever thought of that before. It's about support. So I listed some examples, and then I provided some things in there. So one of them is Made in Bridgeport. I don't know if that name sticks, but I do know that everywhere I go, I'm glad I have a smartphone so I can take pictures of stuff, because I don't remember if I don't take the pictures. But I printed a couple pictures from Traverse City. My daughter's leaving for college in a few weeks, actually. While I was up there, I saw these making it in northern Michigan. These are articles. And they were framed, and they were all over the building at Northwestern Michigan Community College. And I thought to myself, wow, I had no idea they did this. That is really cool. And the next thought was, I wonder what some of the businesses on Dixie Highway do. What about some of the businesses that are tucked into the neighborhoods? All of these articles are written by students. Why can't our kids do that? What prevents us? And so at our middle school, we started producing mini commercials or infomercials. And the connection began with Amigo, and we would really like to expand that out. And the idea from Mr. Ombre, our teacher, is to go in, give kids a visual, they develop questions to ask and answer, they take video, they take camera shots, they come back, they package it together on their editing equipment, which I don't understand, but the kids really got a grasp on it. They put it together, some of it has music, it's really fascinating. And then they handed it back. Project-based learning, probably at its most organic. Not necessarily something you're going to throw on your webpage or put out there on TV5. But those kids that produce that know all kinds of things about Amigo, and they have a vested interest in that company, what I believe is a kindness that they offered to allow those students to come in and take pictures. That's not always going to work out in every business, but it's really fascinating to see them work through a project and then finish it and then be proud of it, show, here's what I made. So, I can talk for hours. I get teased about that. The reality is, if I boiled it down, we're about to start strategic planning for our school district for a 5-year plan. We'll begin that in August. It takes several months to do. And we'll invite the community members, businesses and organizations, families, students. They'll all be part of the strategic plan. I'd like our connection with the community to be a central piece to our school district's strategic plan for success. So I'm asking you for help in connecting with these businesses and ideas on how to do that. I don't know. I know you guys, I see your names, and you guys know me. I've been here once. And there's hundreds of businesses out there that are connected with the DDA. And I'm looking for ideas and ways that we can mutually or reciprocally help each other. It prepares our kids educationally. It provides them a foundation for what they might want to do in the future. And it begins to develop a pool of younger folks that may be interested in working at one of your businesses or one of our businesses someday. And I know a lot about employee pools. In education, we don't have a pool anymore. We have wet cement. And so it's a struggle finding a teacher. we scrape, we hope, we pray. They aren't graduating. So there's very little in the way of opportunities and options when it comes to employees. And it's really no different as I've learned in other sectors. Bill and I talked about healthcare. Wow. You know, Central Michigan University, my alma mater, was an education school. You don't hear about that anymore. You hear about their healthcare options. Saginaw Valley followed in the footsteps of Central Michigan for education. They're on board with the healthcare. I think we're going to have a lot of healthcare. Maybe that's a good thing, I don't know. But we're missing out on a lot of the things that we're really going to need. Plumbing, electrical. And I'm refinishing my basement. Find a contractor that has an opening in the next year. That's a tough one. And our kids can be there to fill those roles. And I want them to do it in our town, in my district, in our community. Because I'll tell you, I don't want to just exist as a school district. I want to dominate. I want kids to come to Bridgeport because not just what our culture is, but what we have to offer. And we have a lot of kids that go elsewhere. There's no denying that. It doesn't mean I can't get them back. And I'm asking for your help in doing so. So I would ask you, what questions might you have?
I have a question. I have a couple questions for you. First off, we would love the kids to be involved in the DDA. And, you know, we have our subcommittees like beautification, which they're more than welcome. Maybe we could even go to the high school for that, to set in on that. I could get the beautification degrees. I think that would be neat. My second question for you is, do you have a shadow program?
We have, not a lot. We do some visits. It's primarily geared around the specificity of a class. And I'll use engineering as an example. The students in engineering like robotics, they like the computer end of it, they like the technology, so they look for and people are interested in inviting them out to see what they do in their business. And much like esports, that's a small percentage of our student population overall. So what about those kids that don't? What about the kid that has a passion for music? What about the student that has no idea what they want to do? And the extent of their world is around marketing or meaning Kroger, Wendy's, McDonald's, those kinds of organizations and businesses. Not necessarily ones that might be construction trades, might be automotive. I think about my daughter's car. I mean, I can do a few things, but she needs a lot of work on it. So it's got to go someplace. There's not a lot of kids that I've heard say, you know what, I want to be a mechanic. There's a few. Maybe they don't know what that means. They don't know what kind of work they do. I mean, the mechanics are plugging stuff into computers, and they're programming cars, computers. That's pretty cool. And they may not be in the engineering program. They may not even know any different. So yes, job shadowing is sort of that, it happens more organically, and I would like to see the intention. So thank you for that question. Intentional job shadowing.
I'll have to give you my information. My husband likes to do it. However, he deals mostly with heights of motion. He's an electrician, so he does gas stations all over Michigan. So we have to get close, of course. but he loves to do the shadow. He's had a few kids shadow him, and he loves it.
the more exposure our students have, the more opportunities and options that they can explore down that.
Maybe we could, set more programs to some different businesses in Bridgeport. Maybe we could send out a newsletter or something asking.
We could even include the kids in building that newsletter. And working together. I like that a lot. Thank you.
Anything else?
Exciting to hear.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I have my business cards. I'm gonna hand them out. In terms of contact, I would be the first point of contact. Teachers come back and start, well, they're in the buildings now occasionally, but as school begins, I would like to be able to share with teaching staff options and opportunities for them to connect, and then lead that over to them to make those connections and schedule things and build those opportunities at whatever grade level. So I'll leave those for you. If you have things that you want to communicate or get a hold of you, and you start to think about what contacts might be interested, feel free to email. Which our website changed and our emails are going to actually change. I don't know if you know, our email is at bscs.k12.mi.us, which in 1996, that's what you had. We're moving over to gobearcats.net, so we don't have to, I always have to spell out B as in boy, S as in Simmons. So we are moving over to that. So the emails will change. The email will still get to me as well as to teaching staff. So I'll leave that with you guys here.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hopefully, Mark, you're going to come back for one of our board meetings and discuss those issues. We had talked about that previously.
Yes, I do have that. I have the schedule of meetings, so I'll put that down. I got to pick one of them.
Yeah, after the meeting when he was here the last time, we had quite an interesting conversation relatively to skilled trades, because that's near and dear to my heart. But one of the things that he's really emphasizing, which has been one of my issues for years with the education system, is relevance to education. I still hear my wife make remarks about how stupid algebra is because they use letters instead of numbers, and we had discussed an issue with geometry, and kids really can't put a relevance. What am I ever going to use this for? And if you're laying out a ball field or you're doing various types of things, you can use that, apply that geometry. And so it was very interesting, and congratulations, you're doing an excellent job. So, any help that the board can give you, whatever, just don't hesitate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. If there's no other questions, we'll move on to public comments. Would anybody like to make a public comment? Where's my public comments? Public comments first. New business. The public informational meeting.
So with the new Act 57 that went into place, our DDA is required to have 2 informational meetings in 2019. Those are public meetings where the public is allowed to come and just voice their concerns, their whatever. We have to publicize it in a newspaper, saying what it is and that type of thing. And we're in July, we haven't had one yet, so we need to get 2 in before the end of December. So I don't know if we can set a date today for the first one, and then a couple months go by and have another date set for another one, so I can get it in the paper and that type of thing. Get that advertised, put out there so that people are aware.
Could we relate,
Go ahead.
could we relate it to the new project that's happening on the highway?
Well, yeah, we would give them an update on what the DDA is doing, but it's an informational meeting, it's not a meeting like this.
Right.
Well, let's start.
I don't even think all the DDA board members have to be there, to be honest.
Do you
I
have
don't
a
know, I'd
date
have
in
to look into
mind?
that.
Do you have a date in mind?
Nope, I don't. I was thinking sometime in August, the end of August, and then having the next one in like November before the holidays. That would be
Your
my,
hunting season, you're talking November?
that would be your first.
What day of the week are you thinking?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Now, can we have these during the day, or do we have to have one during the day and one at night, so that everybody?
It doesn't really specify in the act on when you have them, but I would imagine that we want to have it in the evening so that people that are working can show up. We could start with one in the evening and then have one in the afternoon. See which one flies better. Just looking at my calendar, I'm looking at August 27th,
August 27th?
that Tuesday.
Any, have a comment on that?
And I'll double check and make sure that DDA board members have to be there, if everybody has to be there. 6 o'clock.
And that'll be here? Can we get this room?
Yep.
Any other questions? Okay. So this is new business, old business. Demolition of 4418 Williamson.
So just to give you an update on 4418 Williamson, that's the house that's off of Down Bankert. The asbestos has been removed. The transit siding underneath the aluminum siding, all that's been removed. I've been on vacation for the last week, but I was not aware that I needed to contact our water or sewer consumers to disconnect the gas. I thought that was something the contractor did, because I did send him the warranty deed. I thought that's what he needed the warranty deed for, was to get that process rolling, but I guess it's on the property owner after talking around weekly in our building department. So that's all set in motion. So we contacted, Rose actually helped me out by contacting Ruth Ann and Dan about the sewer and water, and Ron actually sent out a letter for me to consumers to get the gas and electricity turned off and disconnected. Kind of worked out because the township's actually demolishing another house on Dixie Hwy, so me and Sons is doing that as well. So they helped me out while I was on vacation doing that. So thank you.
Yeah, any questions, comments?
So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, the house will be coming down, and then the plan is for me I want to get a couple quotes on getting trees trimmed up and that type of thing and make it look a lot nicer. We have some tree limbs that are actually hanging over the Trailhead Park building, so I want to get those trimmed up, but I want to wait until the house is gone so that they can actually get in and do the works.
Are we gonna move that white fence over then? to the next-
Right now I'm going to hold off, because my hope is that we can get the next piece of property next door.
We probably want to put some decent grass in there as opposed to.
Yeah, we'll plant grass and we'll keep it mowed and that type of thing. I just don't want to move that fence and then by a strike of whatever, we get the next house and then we got to move the fence again.
Okay. DDA By Laws.
I put that on there.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped
I
it,
just
I'm
skipped
sorry.
one.
I skipped the Dixie Hwy.
Dixie Hwy Project update, I put that on there. Probably seen all the orange barrels. Started on Monday, I-75 to airport. They were delayed because of all the rain and culverts washing out all through the county and everything, so the county road commission was pretty busy doing that stuff. I noticed this morning when I drove in that by airport and Zelly Drive, there are big chunks of concrete taken out, so they're redoing. Those are areas that they identified as spaces that need to be reconstructed. Then they're going to grind up most of Dixie Highway and repave it from Airport to I-75. We have bunches of meetings going back and forth trying to figure out the best time to meet with Saginaw County, the road commission, and their engineers, and so forth and so on. I know Rose and I also talked about maybe having somebody from the road commission or Saginaw Future that's, you know, highly involved in this to come in and kind of give you guys an update at the next meeting. See if somebody's available to come in and give you the update, kind of some of the things that they're running into and is why it's kind of taking so long. So, they can explain better than obviously Rose and I can. So.
Have we heard if we might give at least a little bike lane, or is it still too premature?
There is no plans right now. The shoulders will be wider. That's what I was told.
So they just
shoulders will be wider.
They just put a layer of asphalt over it, or are they rebuilding the whole thing?
From airport to junction is a total reconstruction.
Yeah, but they're
That's
not
next year.
reconstructing from.
But from airport to I-75, certain areas are getting reconstructed. Otherwise, it's just kind of like what they did on State Street.
They go back.
If you've been down State Street in Saginaw Township, they actually, Lois K actually did the work, and that's who's got our contract. But they went in and ground it up, and then they put down new asphalt. State Street's kind of like a racetrack. And they're supposed to be done with airport I-75 mid-August, if I'm not mistaken, right? Rose?
Yes, that was the last date that they had given us before they postponed it and put back for a couple weeks.
So I'm thinking maybe at the end of August, they should be done with that. So is that something you would like, is for me to invite somebody to come in and give me an update at the next meeting, if they're available?
Yeah, we're spending money, we should probably know what's going on, right?
Actually, we haven't spent any money, so we're the last money in. So depending on how the project goes, we're the last money in.
So then if we haven't necessarily had to contribute all our 400,000, we could say we have this much that we can use for that silly bike path.
Possibly.
How are we getting the kids out to your recreation center?
Right now, there's no recreation center. Cross that bridge when we get to it.
See, we gotta be proactive there.
All right, so does everybody agree that we want somebody to come in, or?
What was that, Rick?
Somebody to come in and discuss with us how it's going.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yes?
Yes, that was it. Are you thinking county road commission, or?
Somebody from the County Road Commission, Rose and I were talking, maybe even somebody from Saginaw Future on some of the hiccups that they've come across. You know, Saginaw Future and Saginaw County Road Commission are working, you know, with the engineers and stuff on this project. So,
Have they found someone to replace Joe?
yes,
All right.
she's having a kind of a difficult time getting up to speed because there was a lot of stuff going on.
Okay. Any other comments? Move on to the DDA bylaws.
Just put that on there, the township board approved the DDA bylaws after it was approved by the DDA board. It was the township board for approval. So I just wanted to let you know that that was approved at the last. Our DDA bylaws are now in effect. Those new ones, and you all should have a copy of those, put in your booklets. I sent an email as well, they were in there. You should have a copy. The draft is-
So we have a complete copy of the email, I didn't open that part.
What's that?
We have a complete copy of the email, I didn't open that part.
PDF, but you had sent me an email, Roberta, about wanting the draft part taken off.
Right.
I couldn't do that until after the township board, so that's fine. But you also have a printed copy.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions about the bylaws? DDA board members report.
Just a couple things. attended the Love's Travel Center ribbon cutting. That was a good thing. I think they're gonna do well there. It seems like every day I go by, there's more and more cars starting to go in there. They're getting more and more trucks to stop in there. So that's gonna be a good thing. I think it's a good business to have here in Bridgeport. I've done some checking on the I-75 exit landscape work that you guys have talked about. I talked to John from Untitled Landscape. He is not interested in even looking at it. I was coming down I-75, noticed Bertrand's exit was kind of cut and everything, so I called Paul Moore at the Village of Bertrand. He gave me his landscape company that they utilize. So they're out of Mount Morris. I've got a call into them. I called them before the 4th of July. I was hoping that I'd have a message on my machine when I came back today, but I did not. So I will follow up with them to see if I can get them to come out to even look at it and see what we can and can't do. So Bert and I took a day and we went out there, and I don't know what we can do because there's some huge ditches, and that's all for water flow and stuff like that. I don't know how much more we can do besides what we're doing. So, but we'll ask the landscape company if they're doing it.
John too busy?
John, he said that he does not do any exits because of safety for his workers. He said there's too high traffic volume and he's just not interested. That was his response to me. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry, one last thing.
No, you said
One last thing. I am working on looking into Obsolete Property Rehabilitation Act. We've had a couple issues come up here in the township with businesses, prospective businesses wanting to come in and how can we help. And so I've been looking in, MEDC has a bunch of programs. One of them is the Obsolete Property. Rose actually just this week sent me the obsolete property policy for the city of Bay City. So I'm looking into that for us to create something so that when we have an opportunity to help a business, we have what can be deemed as an obsolete property. We can get them into that Rehabilitation Act, which would get them some grant dollars and that type of thing. Help them out with some tax breaks and so forth. But right now, the township doesn't have any kind of policy that pertains to that. So we're working on that because I think that's what Rose and I both agree that we need to be on point so that when people call us, we can definitely point them in the right direction, and we as a township can figure out what we can do to help them bring their business to Bridgeport. So that's it. That's all I got.
questions for her?
I have a budget question. Just on the report for, it's the revenue and expenditure for our DDA plan projects, we've got a negative $3,000 in there right now. Our budget was $7,500, and I'm just trying to remember what all we use that line item for.
Well, that's where we took the money out of. We took the money out of there to purchase the house. Projects.
And it ended up being the 10-6.
Try and find it.
Oh, I'm sorry, it is 248,971,002, so it's almost to the bottom of the first page, about an inch and a half up.
Yeah. So it's in the negative because of the purchase of the house. I'd have to go back and get, I put something else in that line item as well. I can't remember if it was the asbestos removal. But we're gonna make it up in other areas. That was my plan, is that at the end of the year, Ron says, hey, we gotta zero these out. It'll come from one of the other budget line items. We'll
Right.
left over money.
And then attorney fees were over again put in 1,500 if we spent 25. What do you think about that? Because we didn't think we were going to need them very much this year. That one is on the second.
And I'm gonna have to do some checking on that because the only attorney stuff that we've had is bylaws. And actually, I haven't gotten a bill on that yet. So I don't know what's being coded in there. So I'm gonna have to get with Ron and find out.
Okay, thank you.
What's going on there. Yeah. Now, we'll look at both of those accounts here.
Any other questions? DDA board comments? We'll start with Jason.
Well, I've asked this every month, I think, someone. What is going on at the new launch?
Hoffman Park, we've been waiting for it to dry up. I
It's
actually
dry
walked-
now.
Huh?
It's dry now. What do
Yeah, I
you-
walked back there last week before I went on vacation, so now I had to call into Rob Eggers at Spicer Group and to find out what's going on. And he actually returned with a message saying that it's been so wet, they're watching the water level. So I actually went out and I snapped pictures before I went on vacation.
Yeah, I live on the river and the water's
Yeah.
down to where it should.
Yep.
And it's been there for a week and a half now, so. You know, a lot of people donated money towards that and they're getting upset. So I think we gotta get on Spicers and get them to do what they're supposed to do.
I called
You know,
them on Tuesday.
it's been 2 years since the thing has basically been done. So,
Would
I
it be
think we-
helpful to you if the sponsors of that thing sent a little note, or if it's just not verbalizing it helpful enough?
I guess my thing is I called them on Tuesday before the 4th of July, and I just got back today. So
I'm not blaming you.
Well, and I get, I mean, but that's kind of what I'm getting is that why hasn't something been done in the last week and a half when it's been dry? Well, we just got through the holiday weekend.
I'm blaming Spicers.
Well,
Maybe we need to.
I blame them for having a wall higher than what it was when I told them that it was too high to begin with. I mean, I did that in May when they were building it. And I mean, they showed me where the wall was gonna be, and at that time I told them that was gonna be too high. But I'm not an engineer, so they're not gonna listen. So,
They wish they were.
I will get on them, we're on it.
Well, last I heard, you weren't really involved in it anymore.
What's that?
The last I heard, you weren't involved.
Rose actually had me contact Rob last week, so. I think she's-
So I wasn't really directing it towards you, I was directing it towards whoever is involved. So I need your vote.
I can comment. There has been a lot of rain. Water's down now, but I don't know where his contractor's at with all of that. And Bill was the last contact with him, so I don't know if you had any messages from him during the time that you were off.
Nope.
Okay, all right.
I have a feeling
We'll work on it.
it's not gonna get over this summer.
Honestly, I have that feeling too, and I don't like that. Because they sure it's taken care of. But we have to be fair, we've had a lot of water, the ground's been really wet. Our crew went out there, they cleaned the little pathway up so you can get back down there. And then that flooded again, it's all mud again, trees.
I know the river's come over that things 5 times this year, 4 times. But I do know that it's been down to normal levels. If Spicer really cared, they'd be on top. I don't think they care.
I will call Rob again.
Okay.
I just want to mention at our last board meeting, had a gentleman who lives over on Tower Line Road, came up during public comment and mentioned that how nice Dixie Highway looks and how nice the flowers are and all those kind of things. And then he brought up the issue of grass cutting and our parks look nice and those kind of things, but he had an issue with private residents that aren't cutting their grass and those kind of things. And between myself and Rose, we explained to him the issues that we have with that, the problems we have, and in a lot of instances it winds up being the legal system. And it's very frustrating because understandably, if you're living next door to somebody who's letting the grass get up that high all the time, it's very frustrating. You maintain your property nicely. And they develop an attitude, well, I contacted the township and they haven't done anything, they're not doing anything, you know, that kind of thing. And it's too bad that we can't, I have, and so has Rose, talked to various people who brought up that issue, that, you know, we do what we can within the legal system. And in fact, I mentioned that I told one resident, well, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll give you the name of the judge who gave this person more time and then more time and then more time. And you go over to the courthouse and you tell him, you know. I don't know that that happened, but anyway, just I mainly wanted to mention the Culver situation. We're still working on all those kinds of issues. Okay, sorry, that's it.